All right, so there's something which is really going on, which is definitely going to blow your mind. In you say next year, January 31st, 2026, the new Patriotic Party will be voting to elect a new flag bearer. It could be Dr. Bawumia, it could be Agyapong, it could be Brian Agyapong, it could be any person. But leading up to the contest, the Hunyama Bebre will now post showing you say Bawumia, any Agyapong, are main contenders for this particular race. But then something is really happening because that's sorry, one person of a year the ex-president Akufo-Addo's camp a party say oni ni kompunumpu ati ase oni ne ko no neba nipa ameka na asemi eye Dr. Palgrove Boache Dankwa oye former government spokesperson on security and governance. Now saba pay ameka na ase na ameka no, he was Akufo-Addo mucho during the past years. Now Akufo-Addo abemu, but the who's leading up to this particular elections, he not in the support Dr. Bawumia, and they say was switching the support. I might say the support Kennedy accompany Agyapong. Now one shocking thing is you see the brouhaha going on between Brian Agyapong and also Bawumia. This man have come out to say yes, he was with Akufo-Addo. What I say, Akufo-Addo, your friend is saying, Nick cousin. But then the thing here is that Dr. Bawumia, as some year can about him, no cre. Don't take my word for it. Video where we will continue this whole argument.
That is why I am with Kennedy Agyapong. That the variable that must be introduced into the new Patriotic Party as the leader of the party. 31st election is Kennedy Agyapong. He is that variable that can be able to win us an election. Because the variable that we have never presented before lost us an election in areas where we thought we would win. We thought we would win in Zoho communities. We lost. We thought we would win in Muslim communities. We lost. That's what I'm saying. The president, John Dramani Mahama, is not a Muslim. He's a Christian. He's a Northerner. He won in Muslim communities. So in this country, we have never had religious competition. We've never had tribal competitions. And so I don't think that that conversation should even be introduced. So I shudder to always get surprised when I see that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is always saying that when you're presenting facts, it's tribal conversation. When you're presenting facts, it's religious conversation. I shudder to think that. But you have been running mate for 8 years, from 2008 to 2016. And I saw a post, and I really wish it wasn't true. I saw a post that is accredited to him that stated that when he was defending the party in 2013, the party did not say he's a Mampusi. I hope that statement is not true. But if it is, that's a very unfortunate statement. Of course,
we don't have that statement.
Yes, of course. That's what I've seen that going around. You understand? That's why I'm saying no one ever looked at Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's tribe. No one ever looked at his religious identity to make him the running mate and to make him the vice president or even to make him the leader. No one looked at that. That has never been a variable on the table. The variable on the table has always been a leader who can win us an election, and we had that leader who lost an election. And so if we had that leader who lost an election, why can't we present a new candidate? From accountability. Let's look at it. I am with Kennedy. Kennedy has been a 6-term MP. And I have stated that anybody who has gone to parliament as a member of parliament is a potential leader of a political party. It's also a potential leader as president. We have seen that in this Fourth Republic. Okay, I think that there are about 2 people that have become presidents that have not gone to parliament. If my mind serves me right, that should be Jerry John Rawlings and John Evans Atta Mills. Aside the 2 of them, every other person has gone through the mail. Okay, and then Jerry John Rawlings won a first-time election in 1992. And so I'm very confident that if we present a candidate who is a winnable candidate, that candidate can win a 2028 election. That goes against the fact that you should bring a candidate multiple times, because it is not the multiplicity of which you bring a candidate that makes a candidate win an election. It is the value-driven proposition that the candidate brings. Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo lost the 2008 election. We went into a by-election in Tain. It was 23,000 that John Evans Atta Mills used to win the election. Nanado had over 47 to 48%. Then we said that because Nanado has performed well, we should bring him in the 2012 election. The 2012 election almost was a tie. We know that we won the election. That is why we went to Supreme Court. We were there for almost 8 months. The reason why Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo had over 1 million votes in the 2016 election was because it was being added up. But look at this. We lost about 1.7 million votes. How long do you think it's going to take us to recover?
I'm loving this. It's here for I am loving this because this man is a person that all can accept no womb to him. Okay. And each and every time you've been listening to me on this particular show, one of my main arguments is that what is really happening with King Agyapong, the supporters, King Agyapong, the spokesperson, we need people like this, or he needs people like this to propagate his message and to let people know what is really happening on the ground. Uti apain sema okan or see President Akuffo enimia ne cousin. But then the issue Bawumia ka say, let us look at the data. The data according to Bawumia na party say e bra ye de no all campaign in 2012, 2008, 2012 no yanka so ye mamprusi yanka so ye nodna because they knew say he was bringing something to the table but no call ya olusi ye ne de yes see ne nodna ne ade or ye nodna ne ade and our pay party say we are not talking about your nodna, we are talking about your track record. We share a year the performance of Akuffo in 2008 or party said it was a tie and Akuffo was basically leading but time a year constituency no any determine ya a man at almost every year. Now moving on to 2012, what we really saw was that the election was almost the same. That is why NPP went to court. About 8 months they were in court contesting the results. Up until Supreme Court, Eka say that famous quote about say election is won at the polling centers near the day. So a party said the performance of ex-president Akuffo that was what premeditated or put some supporters and people on edge. Say, "Pay yes, repeating ye because now we didn't call 50%, almost 50%. Now we didn't call the election was almost a tie. Inti said nyema kakra e touchima e wo NDC abe mu yes repeated." In 2016, he will win. That was why way back in 2016, we saw that ex-president Akuffo won by a margin of almost 1 million votes. By almost what? 1 million votes. So basically, the party said, Bawumia on the number of party said, let's talk about the fact, let's talk about the data. What does the data show? Now, let's put this on the screen. This is coming from Asasi Radio. I say, I informed my uncle Akuffo of my decision to support King Agyapong, and he gave me his blessing. One of the things you are seeing is that these things does not usually happen in Akuffo's family. The likes of Akuffo, Asante Bedie Tuo, Eugene Ahen, the spokesperson, they were all for Bawumia. You dare not break ranks and say Bawumia you are not supporting Bawumia, you are supporting someone else. If you do that, then you are an outcast. But then this is the time Akuffo and Kasa Watanasi who say no. Where the thing is going, we need a winnable candidate. We need a candidate who can give us the vote. We need a candidate appealing to not just to a section of people, but also to the wider Ghanaians. And according to him, that particular candidate is Kennedy Akompre Agyapong. Now, if you also look further, and the argument are all making is say, now global info analytics in some and I say reports on the Bawumia party say NDC for Ibisa say MPP for the flag bearer bar. Why now we floating voter NDC mabeto abama no enye the brand champion eto. On that same graph, we had King Agyapong, we had Dr. Bawumia, we have Professor Yao Edichum. But what we saw surprisingly was that all the NDC people were saying, see, ye pe Mahama, ye pe Julius Debra Asem, ye pe Haruna Idrisu Asem, we love Esi Edinkitia, we love Jenana Opoku Agyeman, the vice president. But then more the Kennedy Agyapong ye be trauma King Agyapong, ye be breaking ranks from our party and vote for King Agyapong. So all of these aforementioned goes a long way to affirm that narrative. Say the personal or a winnable candidate, and ye Kennedy Akompre Agyapong. Now, one of the interesting things that is also happening in the wake of all of this, they say in some way, question. Kennedy Agyapong or the same year Tuja. Recently, the youth wing, some of the youth wing in the New Patriotic Party, omoko peke forms on behalf of Kennedy Akompre Agyapong. Now we are learning say King Agyapong will officially present the forms very soon. Tusha has here. This is coming from my joy online. Oh, share the what has say or say Agyapong to submit his NPP presidential nomination forms on Wednesday, August 27th. In 2 days' time, Agyapong be submitting his nomination forms, clearly, cementing the argument. And then the narrative said, I really want to be the flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, and subsequently, I want to contest. In 24 say Agron FM, we live to see what will happen. We'll be giving you more updates on this issue.